I know, I've said it before and it's getting boring. If you want a healthy tree up here, it's what you do down here that matters the most. You've got to consider the structure of the soil, the drainage, the fertility. But what you need to consider the most is starting with a healthy specimen. So I've come to have a chat with a tree growing professional. And I've got Ian Brown, Mount William Advanced Trees.
That's right, Adam.
Now you are a professional tree grower.
Yes.
Tell me what's so important about the root system of the trees you sell.
When you buy a tree, it's important that you start off with a good, healthy root system.
That's right, yep.
And kinked and girdled roots can have a devastating effect on the establishment of a tree.
All right, well, why don't you show us first what is a healthy root system coming straight out of a nursery?
This is what we class as a healthy root system. You have a lot of laterals coming off your main leaders.
Okay.
And that's all very fibrous rooted, and it's all ready to go out and grow into its in the landscape environment.
And it's fairly evenly distributed within that pot space.
That's right, yes.
Show us something that can go wrong in a hard-walled pot.
Well, if you have in a hard-walled pot, you can get root circling, which is this, where the roots just keep growing round and round and round.
It hits the side of the pot, it's got nowhere to go, so it starts circling around.
It just goes round and round.
So tell me, how do you guys avoid it? Because I know that this is what caught my attention when I come over. You guys use a rocket pot, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Tell me how that works.
Well, how it works basically is that the tree's planted in here, obviously,
yep.
And on the side here they have all these little holes. And when the tree roots grow into those cusps, they stop growing. And all the way back up, you get all the laterals growing out of it.
And you call that air pruning, don't you?
Yeah, it's
I mean, you don't actually touch it. It just the root gets to the edge,
yes.
Stops growing there, yes. And then puts more energy into growing those little lateral roots that you spoke of. And then once the tree's ready to go, this is what I like about these things. Yep. You just pull it apart.
Just pull it apart like that.
And your plant is already just put straight in the ground.
Yeah.
You've got some really good examples. I know we saw these two over here. But mate, show us. This is what happened with a tree that was what, 3 years old? I think you were saying.
Yeah, it was about 4 years old when it was planted.
Yep.
And it was in the ground for about 3 years. And the person who was looking after the tree phoned us and said they were having an issue with the tree. And what happened with this was it was pot bound when it was planted. It could have been fine if it had been root pruned,
okay.
But it wasn't root pruned. And what's happened is that the root system has just kept going round and round and round the tree. So it didn't have the ability to grow out.
To expand out. And just for the people at home who probably aren't aware, when you buy a plant from the nursery, if it's root bound, you can actually sometimes see the pot bulging. And when you pull it out, that's one of the worst jobs. I used to hate landscaping. You've got to try and tease those roots out and make them all sort of friable and available to seek out that nice soft soil. Well, mate, it is interesting because I have seen a lot of trees go that way. Yeah. And you're saying that something like this, which is the same thing, again, a smaller version of the same thing, is probably one of the better ways to go for growing trees and plants.
Yeah, because what you can do with this is a tube.
Yep.
And what you can do, particularly with eucalypts, you can direct seed into it, and then from there you can transplant into a larger size one. So therefore, by direct seeding,
yep.
You get no root gurgling or anything because it just direct seeds and goes straight down and grows out to the sides.
And the less what's the word I'm after? The less damage you do to roots as you unplant before it makes it into the ground, the better the plant will keep growing faster.
Yep, that's right.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much. That's words of wisdom for those of us at home who are looking to plant some trees and who want successful trees in their landscape.